Near the beautiful North York Moors, in the pretty town of Kirby Moorside, lives auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
480, 480, 480 in the room.
Yeah. With his hard-working team...
There we go.
Angus has grown his auction house into a thriving business.
This is an interesting piece. 2 cherubs. Not you two, is it?
When he's not on his rostrum...
We're off on another job again.
He's clearing cluttered homes...
I'll start having a rummage and see what we can find.
Great.
...in search of unwanted items to go under his gavel.
The West Riding of York, 1610. See my house.
Have a look at everything, but there's all sorts of stuff.
OK.
Using his expert knowledge...
The more and more I go through this, the value's totting up.
He finds hidden treasures...
This is what I'm in the business for.
...and uncovers forgotten heirlooms.
Looks like me on a dance floor.
Taking them back to the sale room...
Is it shiny?
Is it shiny?
Wow.
Angus, am I allowed to use this?
Put it down, that's mine.
He auctions these once-cherished items...
These were all just sat in the loft.
Gathering dust.
...making their owners a very...
£740.
...pretty...
I'm just astonished.
...penny.
At 900.
Woohoo!
OK, you can come with me.
At the auction house, Angus's team assess artefacts of all ages, getting each one ready to be sold at auction.
Wagons and coaches, all boxed.
Anything interesting?
Well, this is quite interesting. There's some little sort of 18th century books here. But what they've done is they've started to paste in flowers.
Oh, like a little scrapbook almost.
so-
I love the writing, don't you?
I wish my writing was as good as that.
Talking of neat writing.
Where are we going today?
West Yorkshire, well, it's not West Yorkshire, technically. It's about 100 metres into Lancashire. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go get Barney. I'll bring him today.
Yeah, Barney will enjoy it.
Angus, Pete and Barney the dog are heading close to Todmorden, an area with hilly, and today chilly, terrain. Awaiting them in their converted barn
I think it's the one on the right that's the slightly lighter one.
are married couple Chris and Charlie. After meeting in a bar in Leeds back in the 90s, the couple got married in 2010.
20 years we've never had a row of any consequence. We've never raised his voice to each other. It's all good.
When Charlie came to live here just 6 months after they met, builder and project manager Chris had only just started converting the barn.
When we first moved in, it was kind of, didn't have much stuff between us really, but we didn't have a right lot of money either.
I'm not a person who likes stuff, you know. I build shelves and he fills them and that's about it really.
If you're going to build a big shelf, you might as well put something on it. But it gets to the stage now where each shelf can be double stacked.
Yeah, we've gone from like an empty building to a building that's actually full of stuff.
But that hasn't stopped Charlie from browsing the internet for bargains.
I said, do you like it? And if he said, oh, that's nice. I said, oh, OK, that's it. That's my cue to press buy. It's gone too far.
Fortunately, help is on its way.
Ah, look at this, I tell you. We're back and beyond, aren't we?
This is amazing.
I didn't know these vans were designed for operating. That must be it, that big farm up there. Right, I'll tell you what, you take Barney for a walk. I'll go meet these chaps and see what's what.
Hello.
Hello, are you all right?
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
Chris, what have you?
Picked a good day for it.
I know, it's grand day, isn't it? It's wonderful.
All the sun's out and everything for you.
Should we come in and have a look?
Yeah, feel free.
Thank you very much. Wow. I love it. So was this originally sort of a barn then, was it?
Yeah, there were cows used to stand here and upstairs was a hay loft, so.
Right. You two must have been together for quite a long time.
22 years. We've been
22
together now.
years.
It's practically a golden wedding anniversary, isn't it, for us lot?
So we need a bit of a fin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you got certain bits that you sort of earmarked that you potentially let go?
Have a look at everything, but there's all sorts of stuff.
The renovated barn extends over 3 different levels and the walls are jam-packed with modern art and curios.
And obviously artwork's quite important to you, I'm guessing.
Well, it is to him.
Chris has bought one piece that's on the wall over there that's...
Bought it in a charity shop.
Well, I think
and he
a couple
hates
of
it
years.
as well.
I don't hate it, but I'd have had something else. So it can stay if he wants it.
brilliant. Well, I best have a look round and see what we can make of it.
Knock yourself
Okay.
out.
Brilliant.
Having been given free rein, what goodies can Angus find?
You know what I think I love about this whole house is the quirkiness of it. All the different levels, the house itself is quirky, but also the items, you know, we've got a real random mix. Modern bits, antique bits, or a diver's helmet, because why wouldn't you have a diver's helmet in your house? I mean, it is a reproduction rather than original, but it's a quality reproduction. You know, this is all out of brass. They've become really popular as a decorative sort of interior design piece. So they are quite saleable. They are big and sort of cumbersome, but they make a great feature piece. Probably an improvement.
A real 19th century helmet could go for in excess of £6,000. While Angus continues to root around, Charlie and Chris select items they think will appeal to him from the collection they have built up over their 20 years together.
Chris has made me feel kind of content and part of a partnership, really. And to be honest, you know, growing up, not sure whether you ever find it. So I feel very lucky, really.
Don't grab me by his head.
It's not going to come off.
It might.
There are lots of fragile items here, so Pete is in to help pack them all carefully.
Blanket. Do it that way. Yeah.
Not your usual antiques today, Pete.
Oh, well, I recognise this. We know I'm very proud of anything to do with Yorkshire, and whisky is hugely collectible at the moment. The market for whisky is phenomenal. And one of the emerging markets, and I know some people will say, oh, it's got to be Scottish, is English whisky. And we've had bottles of Filey Bay make £150, £200 for the right ones. People often think, why is whisky so expensive? Well, it's got to be matured for a minimum of 3 years to be legally defined as whisky. So you've got 3 years of investment before you can even sell any. So it's only the second release of whisky that the company have ever released. And I presume this one's, oh no, hang on. Ooh. It's the first release, so their first batch of whisky that they put on the open market. This day's getting more interesting by the minute.
I need to go find a box. Die Another Day. Casino Royale.
Embracing the clear out, Charlie has found something else to show Angus.
Hey up, Angus.
Hey up.
I just found these in a drawer.
Oh, wow, what are
They're a corgi set, limited edition apparently, but I'm guessing it's the more interesting, all the ones that people generally go for though.
Yeah, but I've never had a case set like this. So obviously Bonds, huge markets, that sells. But with them being limited edition and, you know, Corgi's one of the most collectible makes, so they're really nice. Wouldn't mind one of those.
Yeah. Has to be Bond at Christmas and stuff, doesn't it?
Charlie and Chris certainly have tons of stuff, and it's not just inside.
I've seen a few bits out here. I didn't know if any of them were potentially to go.
Oh, any of it can go.
Any of this?
Any of this.
All of it.
All of
Yeah.
it.
All of it?
All of it.
Yeah, I'll crack on with that. Oh, look at old cattle feeders, aren't they?
Yeah.
Cattle feeders have become popular, sold to be used in garden design. And there are even some outbuildings to scour.
It's got some decent sized barn, isn't it?
There's an enormous sink there. I don't know whether you want that or not.
We bought this at some auction about 15 years ago. It's been stuck under there ever since. It's taken 2 days to clean it.
It's Dalton & Co, or Dalton Lambeths. This was before they got the royal warrant, Victorian. Everyone thinks of Dalton as ceramic and figures and that sort of thing, but they actually did huge amounts of sanitary ware, a lot of toilets and things like that.
All right, yeah.
The company boomed in the 1850s, making sewage pipes. It took another 20 years before the firm moved into the fine china it's best known for today.
We'll definitely take that, that's great. Right, I'll tell Pete we've got some heavy lifting to do.
Yeah, it's a heavy lump, that.
After packing up over 200 items into the van, Chris and Charlie's home is a little sparser.
Well, that's about us packed up. Bit more space on the shelves.
Right.
Yeah, not seen it this empty for a while, but glad it's done. So if somebody else can actually get some pleasure from them and use them, all the better.
Brilliant. Well, I'll get off and thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Angus.
Hold on.
We've had a great day today and there's some fantastic items come out the house. I really hope they're going to have some surprises on auction day.
Got grip?
Trophy now.
Right, I can leave you with the rest of it then.
Right, OK then, Pete.
Back at the auction house, there are some traditional items that Mark and Gary have come across before.
It's lovely, is it? Well, yeah, I think it must be about 40s, 50s, something like that. Yeah.
Like this index card chest that might bring in a fair price on auction day. And some items they haven't come across before.
What have we got here then? It's not a tie, is it? I think they are ties, aren't they?
Wow, they're lovely, them.
Jeremy should get one for work, shouldn't he?
He should. He's a tie man.
The ties are a limited edition run made for the charity UNICEF in the year 2000.
Wow. Different.
Will you be bidding on it, Gary? Once inside, Harriet and Charlotte tried to make head and tail of the dog in the golden boots.
So this is a Tom's Drag Poodle. Has got a bit of damage.
German artist Tom Hoffmann made his range of brightly painted drag animals in the wake of the 9/11 attacks, hoping to reclaim a feeling of optimism.
It's very jolly. It's definitely different, isn't it? I quite like it, actually. I think it's quite fun.
You might have to fight Gary for it, Charlotte.
What do you think with the sort of estimate on this?
Because of the damage, probably looking around £30 to £50. I don't know if it screams Yorkshire to me, but I'm sure there'll be somebody out there.
Yeah, who'll love it, yeah, definitely.
With the auction just 18 days away, it won't be long until we find out. It's a chilly morning at the auction house, and Charlie and Chris have made it over county borders.
Oh, well, here we are.
Morning, you're right.
Morning.
Welcome to Yorkshire.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the sun's shining, so hopefully
It's a lovely day.
hopefully shine on a few results.
I've got faith.
You've got faith. No pressure on me.
Yeah, we're all taking stuff home.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll come in out of the cold and have a look around.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Charlie and Chris, they've got a lot of items in, over 70 lots today, and they've got some really interesting, quite quirky bits, but there's one or two things that they have put quite hefty reserves on. The Yorkshire whiskey, probably a little bit higher than what we would expect to get for them, but there's a chance there. And surprisingly, there's a lot of interest in a pink poodle.
That was really that hideous dog. It's just awful.
Somebody will love it, I'm sure.
More stuff than I remember here, you know.
Well, this was just outside, wasn't it? All his ties, these ties.
I think it's going to be really good today. I'm glad to get rid of it all.
It's good to see it all laid out with numbers on and ready to go.
Hopefully he gets some decent bids for it.
Yeah, no pressure, Angus.
It's not just Chris and Charlie's lots going under the gavel today, so Angus is already on the rostrum doing what he does best.
Thank you, sir.
Assisting him with the internet bids are Emma and Heather.
Angus, am I allowed to use this?
No, you're not. Just pack it in. Put it down, that's mine.
And sale room assistant Jasper is today's porter.
Right.
Make some money.
Here we go then.
First up for Chris and Charlie, the 19th century sink.
Never quite seen one like this. It's great. £50 start me for it. 50 straight in, £50 a bit of 50 it is, then at 50 pounds. 60 it is, 5, 70, 75, 80 it is, £80 it is, then at £80 it is, at 80, 85, 90, and 90 it is, 95, fresh bid at 95 it is, then at £95, rounded up to 100 shortly at £95 for this fantastic sink. At £95 I'm going to sell then, at 95.
I think we don't have to take that home.
I don't envy the person who has to lug this back. Luckily, it's staying local in Yorkshire. Next, the cattle feeders that Pete spotted. In this lot, you get 4 of them.
Make great planters, fix these up on the wall. You can have a little trailer coming down on it. Can I use your imagination? I am very creative, yes. The planters there we go. £20 start me for these, £20.
Silence. We're not taking them on.
It was going so well.
It was.
It was going really well. £20 for him. 20. Thank you, sir. £20 a bid. At £20 at 20. We all done at 20. Thank you, sir.
But the challenge isn't over. There are more feeders to sell.
These are even better.
There's 5 of them.
£25 start me for this.
Go on.
Oh, but you get an extra one. Oh. Boy, you're from Yorkshire, aren't you? 22. 22. 22. Every pound helps. Nothing like living up to our reputation, is there?
We like to count our pennies, us Yorkshire folk.
At £22, thank you, sir.
Despite being a hard sell, Angus shifts 2 more lots of these planters, nabbing Charlie and Chris £62 in total.
Now they've gone.
Now, is everything in order for the sale of the index card chest?
Roll this lovely oak bank of drawers. 48, 55, 60, 60 and bid at 60 at £60 at 65, 70, £70 a bid at 75, 80, 80 it is then at £80, 85, 90, £90, 95, 95, at 95 then at £95.
A tidy sum.
No wrong with that at all.
Next, Angus takes the plunge with the reproduction diver's helmet.
45, 8, 55, 65, £65. At 65 it is then at £65 for the diver's helmet at 65. 70 anywhere is it now? At £65 at 65. 75, 75. Commission has it. At 75 it is then at 75. Against you on the neck. Quickly now. Gavel 80. Commissions are out. 80 online at 80. I'm selling at 80.
It's all going well. Oh.
Bought by a deep-sea explorer in Yorkshire. Now, the 6 silk ties.
These are interesting. If you want to jazz up your tie selection, we start at 20, we've jumped up to 40, we've jumped up to 55. 55 and bid, 60 and bid at 60. £60 at 60 it is. 65, 70. £70 at 75, 80. 5, 90 is it now? 95, 95, commission's out. I've got 95 it is. At 95 for 100, thank you. At £100 it is then. The tie's at 100. Anybody else, they'd see you coming in these, wouldn't they? At £100 it is then. The gavel's up. I'm going to sell at 100.
Oh, got about another 40 of them, haven't we?
Maybe this great price will persuade Charlie to sell more, Chris. Now, what will people make of the poodle?
Oh, where you go?
Oh, here we go, look.
Is Angus barking up the wrong tree?
I've had to sell some stuff in my time, but... Mark, can you just demonstrate this? You laugh. We start at 10, 20, 28, £42, £45, £48, £48 it is then at £48, at 48. I tell you, it's popular this. At £48 for the pink, 50 and bid. 55, we're on fire now. 60 it is. £60 at 65. Commission's out. Never thought I'd see this in Kirby Moorside. At 65 it is then. We all done for the pink poodle at £65.
Hey!
He thought it wasn't pausable.
Hey, there's some career-defining moments.
Over the next 20 minutes, Angus rattles through 50 more lucrative lots.
In time. We all done.
Now the whiskey. Angus needs to reach £250 before Charlie is keen to let it go.
This is the best whiskey in the world. All joking apart, it is rated the best English whiskey there is, and it's the only Yorkshire whiskies. And this is the first release. Several bids on this. Takes me in at 180 on commission. 190, 200, anywhere is it now? At £190 it is then for the first issue. £200 bid. 210, just in time. 20, sir. 220.
Go on, go on.
220. We all done at 220.
It's so close to its reserve. Will Charlie part with it?
I'm going to sell then at £220. Thank you.
It's all right,
Yeah.
And Charlie has the second release to sell. The same whiskey fan is bidding for this one too.
At £130 at 130.
Well, it's all whiskey gone then.
Don't like whiskey anyway, do
Don't like whiskey anyway.
The final lot of Chris and Charlie's are the Corgi die-cast cars.
This is a little bit different. The James Bond car collection. Just the miniatures. We don't have the real ones parked outside. But we've got a huge amount of interest.
Oh, here we go.
First, I've got 6 commission bids. 105, 120, 130, 140, 150, £170 we're at. at 170, at 170, at 170, 180, thank you, 180 in the room, nets out, commission bids are out, the bids with the room at 180, I'm going to sell then, don't mistake it, gavels up at 180, 190, sorry, 200, £200 at 200, hurry you now, internet, 200, thank you, sir.
200 quid.
Thank you very much.
A fantastic end to their auction.
There you go then, eh?
Yeah, well, let's go.
64 of Chris and Charlie's 73 lots are off to new homes, and there are some very chuffed customers.
Very skinned, but happy. Favourite Bond is Sean Connery. Always have been, always will be. There's only one.
Came today for the whisky specifically, with it being a Yorkshire distillery. I've got a small collection at home. This is a great addition to it. Slightly more than I was going to pay for it, but I'm not going to drink it just yet.
Two happy chappies there. And what about Chris and Charlie?
Well, we've got two smiles.
Well, I enjoyed that. It was good. We were happy with everything that sold. A lot of it went for more than I thought it would, to be honest.
I suppose you'd like to know what you're going to be walking away with.
Yeah.
Did you have any figures in mind that you know?
783, I said before we started.
783?
Yeah.
1,500 would be really nice.
OK. Delighted to say that you're both wrong. £2,812.
We're taking it home?
Taking home after fees, yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's all right, you're welcome.
Amazed.
I'm stunned.
Charlie and Chris seem shaken and stirred by the result.
Things that surprised me were
James Bond cards. Yeah, they went
did
really well. Yeah, them were mine. You bought me them for Christmas, you know that,
Yeah,
don't
10
you?
years ago, and they've been in a drawer ever since. It's been
been a
really
good
good day out.
We had some really good results. A few things really flew. And who would have thought we would have got so much money for a pink poodle?
With 22 years in the business, Angus has built up a lot of long-standing relationships with clients who call upon his services time and time again.
Pete?
Yeah?
Do you remember that job we got the caravans from?
Yeah.
Of course he does.
Are we clear? Yeah.
A few months ago, Angus cleared the family home of brother and sister Stephen Glynis when they put the house on the market.
Go on, boy, giddy up.
And sold 4 bow-top caravans that made good money at auction.
£1,250. Gavels up at 1,650. They've called us back. I think it's just smalls, but you know what it's like sometimes there's more stuff, so I might have to give you a shout to follow on with the big van.
All right. All the best. See ya.
Cheers. It's always nice when you've done a job for somebody and they ask you back. And the house is now sold and they've found a few more interesting bits, so it's a nice little run over. Good to see them again.
It's a 50-mile drive to the village where Stephen Glynis grew up in the Dales.
Mum and Dad bought this house in 1969, so we were kids here. Mum unfortunately died in 2004, and Dad died about 4 years ago.
That's right.
You never get over it, I don't think, do you?
You never really detach from it, even though you might go away, have your own families, and live at the other end of the country.
Now the house has actually sold, the race is on to clear it. But since Angus last visited, they found even more things in the loft.
They accumulated a lot of
They
things.
collected lots and lots of stuff in 50 years.
After bringing it all downstairs, the rooms Angus previously emptied are now full again. He's going to have his work cut out today.
Morning.
Hello, Angus.
Hello again.
Nice for you to come back.
A bit snowier this time.
A bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thanks. Oh, well, that's a nice warm fire to keep us...
Yeah, it makes a change on a cold day, doesn't it?
That's right.
I'm guessing that the sales progressed, is it?
Yes,
Sold.
and nice part about it is it's people from the village, a family from the village, so hopefully they'll enjoy living here much the same as we did.
Because that was your dad and mum there, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's right, yes.
And
yeah.
they were real heart of the village, weren't they?
Very active in the village, that's right, yes.
So the fact it's going to somebody in the village is
Nice new chapter for the house, yes, exactly. But now things are moving along, we've got to get on with emptying things, so...
Now it's a bit more urgent.
Yes, there's an awful lot more for you to look at today.
Fantastic. Should we have a look round?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, OK.
With the new owners keen to move in, the two siblings have been working hard to find new homes for all of their parents' possessions.
Can we tempt you with a 1970s fondue set, maybe?
I mean...
It's the rage.
Yeah, I mean, the market for them at the moment's just...
Limited?
Limited, yeah. But I have to ask, as somebody that was in the Green Howards, you've got the Raising of the Regiment print there, very famous picture. Is that something that could go?
Yeah, potentially, I think so, yeah. I mean, we've got it because Mum worked for the Green Howards in the regiment office.
No.
It's now called the Yorkshire Regiment, isn't it?
It is indeed. 2nd Battalion. My brother's the commanding officer, so...
Well, there you go.
OK, we should get a good price for it.
So maybe we get a good price.
I put my foot in it there, haven't I? Yeah, well, it was done by Terence Cuneo, who did a lot of sort of military pictures as well. So he's a very well-known artist. I mean, it generally only really appeals to people that were in the regiment, but...
give it a go, give it a go.
Definitely. Fantastic. OK, well, I'll pop back in a bit, I think, and have a rummage through. Shall we carry on having a look round?
Yeah.
OK, carry on.
Stephen Glynis's mum and dad built up quite a collection of toys and playthings over the years.
Dolls.
Yeah, so we've got a real mixture of things in here. There's obviously some very old-looking dolls, and there's some little marionettes down there.
Yeah, they'd be absolutely fine,
Right, OK.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some Merrythorpe. They're collectible. I mean, people like the bears. We sell a lot of bears.
This one here might have a bit more connection to you Army boys, or ex-Army boys. Because this one is the Royal British Legion.
Oh,
Poppy
lovely. Yeah,
bear.
and he's got the 1939 45 Star Medal on.
Yeah.
Right.
And all of them, as far as I can see, have got all the documentation with them. So
your mum was the big teddy bear collector?
Oh, yeah, definitely. She was always interested in things to do with childhood, wasn't she? The dolls, the prams, the rocking horses, all of that sort of stuff.
Going back over the childhood that possibly they never had as well, you know, wartime children, that they didn't have the opportunity.
Forced to grow up quickly, living through World War II, Joyce and Louis got married in 1950 when Louis left the Navy. They moved out to the country when the children were young.
She really loved playing with our children as they grew up. I remember her playing with us.
Before Angus investigates the house further, Steve and Glynis have asked him to look at a couple of things in the garden.
It's a bit different. Oh, cheese press. Steve's in the cheese industry, so this is quite nice. And what you do is you press the cheese and get all the way. You can see all these channels here for the liquid to come out and drain out and compress that cheese. Make a great feature piece in a shop, or maybe a farm shop in the entrance. It does mean that I'm going to have to ring Pete and get the big van here, because there's no way I'm getting in the back of my van.
Hang on. Hello? Oh, wrong phone. Hello?
Hello?
Do you need me?
I do need you, Pete, yeah.
All right.
You might bring somebody with you. It's just like a big cheese press.
It's that big metal thing in it at the back of the house.
That's the one, yeah.
All right, then, I'll bring somebody with me.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
As Pete makes his way to join him, Angus starts to investigate some of the other things brought down from the loft.
I absolutely love this sleigh. You know, it appealed to a number of people. It's a great feature piece and really well made. Look at, you know, how it's all chamfered off, all the corners, you know, all this detail that's put on. I mean, there's a lot of work gone into that. I think it's a great little thing. The joy that this would have brought to children. I can see my 3 kids in this getting pulled along in the snow. I mean, that is what childhood is all about, isn't it? Being outside, playing in the snow, and I think it's a great thing.
Another lot for auction. Now, what's this?
This will be 18th century heavy. It's made out of lead, tobacco box. You've got this lid here that lifts off, and then you have an inner lid, and that would keep the tobacco pressed down. It keeps the air out, keeps it as fresh as possible. And if you think about it, at that time, you know, tobacco was a very luxurious item, valuable, and you would have had an equally valuable, nice thing to keep it in. I mean, what an elaborate box. It's just gorgeous. I love it. This is what I'm in the business for. And, you know, not the most valuable item in the world, but, in my opinion, the best thing of the day.
With Angus's van already full of smaller items, Pete has arrived and he's brought trainee valuer George along to help.
There we go.
All right, that's the way you've got to earn your keep, George.
Got a badge on it that says it came from Whitchurch, Shropshire. So it was a plant stand for many years.
And have you got 2 at home already, so you don't need a third?
I've got 2 at home, and I'm told I can't have a third, yes. I did try and get it working last summer. I think it is actually seized solid.
Cheese press loaded. Anything else worth salvaging from the garden?
I don't think the other bit we can bring you ourselves, Pete. What is this other bit? This. potato picker. Right here in the garden, we've got this fantastic vintage potato picker. I mean, this is early, mid-20th century farm machinery. It's not something that'd be used anymore, but how often do you see one of those on a job?
What's the best way for us to get
I think if you just pick it up, George.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Oh, here comes the cavalry, George. See if we can rock it loose.
Come on, boys. Where are those muscles?
Probably last lifted potatoes the end of the 1980s, I'm guessing. Trapped in the back end.
Looks like the potato picker is staying put.
The friend's farm that he came from, their son still farms in the village.
Glynis has called in a favour and the potato picker's old owners come to the rescue with some more modern farming machinery.
Pete, this is what you need. Never mind, you know, oh, let's wiggle it along the road.
It seems daft that his dad and his granddad and so on would have used that, and now he's helping to get rid of it.
Yes. If you clear your door, then. Top man, thank you very much.
The vans are loaded and Stephen Glynis's old family home looks that bit emptier. So it's time for Angus, Pete and George to hit the road back to Kirby Moorside.
Do you think this will be the last time we're here now?
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes. No, thanks for that.
No problem at all. We'll see you on
soon.
sale day.
Right,
see you
thank
then.
you very much. Bye now, bye.
Actually, the most exciting thing for me, on a sideboard full of bits, there is an 18th century lead tobacco box. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that is a proper antique. Dolls, they're hard work, if I'm honest, unless they're the right sort. But on the whole, the doll market is not good, so they're going to be a bit of a struggle.
Having learnt that brute strength alone won't shift a potato picker, Pete is making use of the auction house's forklift.
It's been quite a good nick, really.
Could get that working without much bother, really.
Mark and Gary feel irresistibly pulled to the old farming machinery.
Nice thing. It's got its name on it, which everybody likes names.
How old do you think it is, then?
30s, 40s, maybe.
She's done some work in the
I bet it has. It worked how it works, yeah?
No.
As it's pulling forward towards me, the plough lifts the taters, and the wheel with the tines on it, flicking the taters up.
Right.
All ready for picking.
Well, isn't that ever clever?
Old-fashioned bears by Magical Designs.
Inside the auction house, while Harriet and Charlotte get to grips with researching and cataloguing the teddy bears...
Quite a few of these bears actually have growlers in, so...
Oh, really?
There we go.
Looks like me on a dance floor, that.
Angus is working too.
They're just magical, aren't they? They're Pelham puppets, which is probably one of the most famous makers of puppets, and made by Bob Pelham, started in 1947 and made massively famous by TV series Pinky and Perky, which were Pelham puppets. But they did all sorts, and they made them in little series. These ones here are part of a series of 3. There would have been a wolf originally as well, and made in 1963. Sadly, Piggy's missing his strings. Originally, they came all boxed up in nice little presentation boxes, and that does help to add to the value, and condition, like everything, is very important. These, sadly, have had a much loved life and been played with. Certain Pelham puppets, rare ones, I've seen do well into the thousands. They can be as little as £20, but you can't help but smile and have a little play with them, can you?
Let's see what the sale's all about today, then.
It's the morning of the auction and Stephen Glynis have made it to Yorkshire.
Morning.
Hello, fancy seeing you again. I'm getting to feel like we live here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Are we up for the challenge today, then?
I think so, yep. I mean, I think one lot that's, you know, going to do well.
Oh, which one's that?
Well, obviously, it's the greatest regiment there was, wasn't
Obviously,
it?
obviously.
Yeah, so that's going to do all right.
Excellent.
Angus may be a little biased when it comes to a painting of his old regiment, But he's pretty pragmatic about the rest of Stephen Glynis's items.
They've got a couple of big, bulky items. I think the cheese press actually is very saleable. Doll market, it's hard work, but the bears are good sellers. Everybody loves a teddy bear.
Some of the stuff we weren't sure it was even worth taking anywhere but the tip.
Yeah, but Angus thought one or two were interesting items, so let's see. Here we go. Your dolls are here, Glynis, that you spent hours sorting out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure these would be against health and safety, 5 kids in a crib.
Well, yeah. Still looks strange to see things that you've seen around the house, not in the house, you know, to just see them here. The puppets.
Puppets, yeah.
Has somebody untangled them?
Look at that, somebody has untangled them.
This one I used to think of was mine. I don't know if it actually was.
Yeah.
It's a busy day with almost 300 lots for Angus to get through, so he's already hard at work.
Serve you at 20, 22, 22 it is.
Emma and Heather are fielding the internet bids and Gary is today's porter. Sitting comfortably, it's time to sell.
Oh, one of my favourite things out of this house, there we go. The 18th century lead tobacco box there. It's 52, 52, 55, 58, 58, 40, £40, 42, 42, 45, 48, £48 it is then at £48. At £48 it is then for the box at 48. We're all done. At 48, selling at 48.
That's good.
Gosh, that was good, wasn't it?
Next up, some childhood nostalgia with the sleigh.
Oh, I love this. Absolutely love this. 40, 50, 60, £70 we're out. At £70 for the sleigh. At 70 and £70 it is then. Gavels up at 5, 80. 80 it is then at £80 at 80. Last chance at £80.
A great price. Let's hope it's not all downhill from here, as next, Angus faces the challenge of Joyce's doll collection.
Right, we want the first of these to this. £20 start me. £20 start me. Nice early one in there. £20. Save those for another day.
Just as Angus feared. Moving on.
This is a nice lot. You get the crib with it there. 32, 55, 38, 42. You're out on the net. At 42 it is then at £42. We're all done. I'm going to sell that at 558. 48 it is then at £48. Selling at 48.
These little ones are off to a new home in Scotland.
Oh, this is a good lot.
Now, let's see if you can pull some strings and sell these puppets.
The Pelham puppets.
Don't they look cute when they're like that?
We spent quite a while trying to get them completely untangled. There we go, the Pelham puppets there. There we go, where should be for these. We nearly got there. I've got £12, starts me off at 12. 15, 18, 18, £18, 18. I've got free bids of 18, 20, £20 a bid of 20 it is then at 22, 22, 25, £25, 25, 28, 30, £30 it is then at £30 for the Pelhams. At £30 at 32, anywhere is it now? At £30 at 30, we all done 2.5. £35 at 35 it is then. At £35 it is then at 35, we all done at 35, 8.40, we're not done yet. At £40 it is, online at 40, all done at £40. 2. At £42 it is then at £42. They do it on purpose, you know. At £42, selling at 42. Thank you.
Some playful bidding from the internet.
It's better than life in a box, isn't it?
Yeah. It's on to bears. For collecting, not cuddling.
This is a nice little lot there.
This should be the...
22, 5, 8, 32. £32 it is then at £32. At 32, at 32, 35, 38, 40, madam.
Internet bidders are battling it out with the lady in the room.
5, 45. 8, 50. In the room at 50. At 50 it is then at 50. I've got 60. 5's it. 5, thank you, madam. 65, it's 70. 5, thank you. 75. That's 80. It's free of you bidding. They are lovely. At 80, at £80 it is, then at 80. At £80, we all done. You look so tempted. Look at them. Look at their faces. 85, thank you. 85 it is.
Who can resist a teddy bear?
90. At 90 it is, then at £90. At 90, we all done. I'm going to sell 95 fresh bid. At 95 it is. 100 is it now? Rounded at 100, thank you, madam. At £100. At 100 it is. I'm selling at 100. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
They are lovely. They've gone to a good home.
And now for something completely different.
Oh, this is fantastic. You don't see one of these every day. It's a cheese press. It's for making your cheese. There we go. Where's your beef for this? 50 bid. 5, 65, 75, 85, 85, 85 pound it is. 85 pound, 90, 90 pound it is. At 90 pounds, at 90, at 95, 100. At 100 pound I have, at 100 pounds it is. Then at 100, 110, I'm out. At 110 pound it is then. At 110 I'm going to sell then. At 110.
Sean, I'll be selling all the ones you've got at your house.
The cheese press is off to Barnsley for a good price. Can the potato picker match it?
Cast iron potato picker, that would make a great feature piece, wouldn't it, outside somewhere? We can move it onto your trailer for you. We can even deliver it. The potato picker there, where should be for that? £70 start, mate. £70. Worth that, otherwise we're going in the agricultural sale. No, we'll save that.
The potato picker will be put in a specialist auction later in the year. All that's left to go is the military print depicting Angus's old regiment.
This is obviously the best lot in the sale today. Raising of the regiment, the greatest regiment to ever grace the British Army. The Green Howards, not that I'm biased or anything, but I might have been in the Green Howards. The Terence Cuneo, raising of the regiment. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commission bids.
Wow.
We've got a few around 50, then we go 60, 70, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210. I'm out on commission. At 210 in the room. At £210 it is then. At 210 for the Green Howards. At £210 at 210. We're all done. At £210, don't mistake it. I'm going to sell then at £210. Thank you, sir. For your Green Howard. Good lad. Lot number 211.
Brilliant, yeah.
A storming end to the auction with some very happy customers.
You're next Green Howard?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
88 to 98. I want to reframe it.
Are you?
To bring it up to date and put it in a real modern frame.
Yeah.
And then it'll go with all my other military memorabilia I've got. So
Brilliant.
yeah, it'll sit nicely. It'll stop pride and place in my office.
It's gone to a good home.
Yes, it has, to be fair.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As one happy customer heads off with his treasured possession, it's time for Stephen Glynis to find out how much Angus has made them from the sale of their parents' last belongings.
You sort of really bring the house to a conclusion now, isn't it?
It's going to be a bit strange to not be going there constantly to sort it out.
Taking 2 years of our life in there. And it's nice to see that, you know, just one or two of the buyers in person as well, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
That was
and
quite
be able
nice,
to speak to people that have actually bought things. It's nice.
Yeah, so
Good.
We're happy, yeah.
Well, you're going to be walking away with £906 from today's sale.
Oh, that's good. Very good, very good.
Well, I wish you all the best, and, well, I might see you again at some rate.
You may well do.
Never say never.
Thank you.
A great result.
I think Angus does a good job. He's got the banter, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah, he said he was up for the challenge. It was always going to be a bit of a push, but we're there now. It's a good day all round.
I think Stephen Glynis are very happy with what they've got. There were some interesting bits in there. You know, I particularly like the tobacco box. I know it's not huge money, but it was a proper antique, and I'm delighted. Well, I'm mixed emotions, actually, about the Green Howards picture, raising of the regiment, because quite fancied it myself, but it's gone to a good home where it's going to be appreciated.